Welcome again, 1/400 scale and larger size collectors. These are 3D prints on Shapeways.com. Everything I'm showing up is 1/400 because it's the smallest scale that I'm willing to paint and collect. And it goes well with the die-cast airplanes I collect in that scale. So I'm backlogging, a bunch of prints that I had for several years now. I just never bothered to put a video together. If you've ever watched the Aliens movie, directed by James Cameron, that was probably the best Alien movie, by the way. These are the UDL-4 drop ships that come off the Sulaco mothership, and then these things drop off these airport tractor-based tanks called the APC M577s. So I have a pair here because I have one where I ripped off the it comes printed as this ramp at an angle, and then I just ripped off the shock struts and glued it shut. It doesn't actually fit the APC because, this is 1/400 scale, but it can come close. So you can kind of get part of the APC between the landing gear. So this one is like in the process of dropping it off. That's why I have two. Okay. So, and then I have my standard reference, classic Range Rover on a US penny. So let's continue on. The very first Alien movie, the escape shuttle that Ripley took to escape the alien, and then lo and behold, the alien was on the escape shuttle as well. This is called the Narcissus, and in the movie it didn't have landing gear, but I did see props with the landing gear, so that's what I made because I generally try to display my stuff on the ground. I do have an option where one doesn't have the landing gear open if you want to, and it has a peg hole instead if you want to just have it displayed in flight mode. So that's it. Pretty big model. I guess, excuse me, I gotta leave this Range Rover up there for reference. But it's a spaceship, so I guess it makes sense. For spaceships, it's actually pretty small. What is next? There's an old video game called Halo. Microsoft Xbox. I think they still make Halo video games. I haven't had an Xbox since like the first one. These are the Warthog and the tank from that video game. We're talking the very first video games. So yeah, I played that game with my roommate countless hours, maybe hundreds of hours. It's a good game. So I had to make little miniatures of these guys. Alrighty, let's get these out. What do we have next? Although not sci-fi, it is space related. Here is a poorly painted lunar lander, the Apollo 11 mission, I believe it was. So the thing was mostly coated in gold on the bottom side because gold reflects a lot of light and heat, I imagine, henceforth, so it doesn't cook the electronics. And then it just has a strange random pattern of black panels, and the panels are not symmetric. This is a very difficult model to make in the CAD program because it isn't symmetric and there's no reference drawings. So yeah, if you do purchase this model, I had to bulk up the landing gear because I broke 3 of them off just painting this thing. So I bulked up the whole thing, but still, if I was you, if I bought this thing on Shapeways, I would clip off the support rings. First clip off the ring in separate spots so you don't create tension on the landing gear. Then once you've trimmed enough off, then you can trim off the landing gear. Then I would paint it as soon as the bottom part as soon as you can and glue it to a chip like this. This is just some packaging plastic. Then you can hold the chip and paint the rest of it. Like I said, very fragile model, so it's been bulked up for us, so in case some of you guys want to buy it and try it yourself. But that's space history right there. Did it really happen? I don't know. I'm going to assume it did, but maybe it didn't. Alright, let's see. This is a suggestion from someone a long time ago. The Spacemobile Family Robinson. So, there's an old black and white TV show called The Space Family Robinson, I think. Or maybe it was Lost in Space. I think it was Lost in Space, and these are the some sort of shuttle from that. So no drawings again. I think I just went off they might have been comic book images actually that I modeled this off of, and then I used Sharpie to cover up the windscreen. I probably should have painted it, but it's not easy painting these guys. As you can see, it's quite small compared to my ugly fingers. Alright, another two. I love the classic Star Trek. And this is the Galileo 7 shuttle from the original television show. It's actually quite interesting, its design. The back of the cabin is tapers below the side panels. So, yeah. And then when I was younger, I really watched the Next Generation with Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, and so this is their shuttle. It's called the Type 6 shuttle. All right, let's back out. Actually, get some more models out here. All right, just two more here. We got the Tron tank from the original Tron 1982. That one was cool. Being a video game, well, being a tank inside of a computer, naturally this is not 1/400 scale. I mean, who knows how big people are in a computer? Nanometers, I guess? I don't know. But I just based it on the size, like as if a human being was going to be in it. So, you know, if this is a Range Rover and a 2-meter tall person was standing, you know, theoretically maybe, three guys would be inside that thing, sitting down. So, I don't know. And then the last one is the light cycle. So again, basing it off maybe a humanoid person sitting inside that. So that's the light cycle. Boy, these things are really small. Alright, let me get all these things lined up and we'll take a look at all of them in proportion to each other. And there we are, today's little spaceship show, sci-fi variety show. Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully you appreciate this. Maybe it brings back some memories of these old movies and stuff like that. It does for me. Appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned. I got a whole bunch of other non-sci-fi vehicles to come, so we'll see you then. Bye now.